Can you believe it's been 15 years since this film came out? As y'all know, I reviewed the first two installments of Predator, and I have reviewed Alien vs. Predator, but I have yet to review the sequel to that. But 15 years ago today, we got a long awaited and long overdue third film. So strap yourselves in as I review Predators. Big T's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 2010 sci-fi action flick Predators, released by Fox and directed by Nimrod Antal as a standalone sequel to Predator 2, 20 years after that film was released. Serving as the third installment of the Predator franchise and fifth overall, including the AVP film. The film has a big ensemble cast that includes Adrien Brody, Topher Grace, Alice Braga, Walton Goggins, and Laurence Fishburne. It follows a group of proficient killers who have been abducted and placed on a planet that acts as a game preserve for two warring tribes of extraterrestrial predators, leading them to try to survive and look for a way back to Earth. The film was released on this day in the US, July 9, 2010, 2 days after it was released internationally. So henceforth, today is the 15th anniversary of the film, as this film was produced by Troublemaker Studios, Robert Rodriguez's company. Boy, took so long to even give us a sequel to this. This film did fine in my view, despite getting mixed reviews. Now, before I start, if you haven't seen my reviews of the first two films, I made a Predator playlist. Check out my reviews of the first two films, as well as the prequels, and the recent animated film Predator Killer of Killers. Okay, now to get started. Mercenary Royce is dropped from the sky into an unfamiliar jungle and meets several others who arrive in the same manner. Los Zetas enforcer Cuchillo, Spetsnaz Alpha Group soldier Nikolai, IDF sniper Isabel, RUF officer Mombasa, San Quentin death row inmate Stans, Yakuza member Hanso, and physician Edwin. Following Royce, they find a strange monument, empty cages, and deadfall traps set by a deceased U.S. Special Forces soldier. They soon realize they're not on Earth. After surviving an attack from a pack of alien beasts, Royce deduces they are being hunted and the planet is a game preserve. Cuchillo is killed and his body is used to lure the group into a trap which they avoid. The group follows the beast's tracks to a camp and finds a captive predator. Three larger predators, known as Tracker, Berserker, and Falconer, attack the group and kill Mombasa while the others escape. Isabel recognizes the predator as the one matching the description of a similar creature that killed most of a special operations team in Guatemala in 1987. Henceforth, you should know that's the first film. The group encounters Ronald Nolan, a solitary U.S. Air Cavalry soldier who has survived for many years by hiding and scavenging. He takes the group to his hideout and explains that the predators abduct worthy prey from other worlds. Nolan also reveals that there is a blood feud between the predators. Royce devises a plan to free the captive predator, hoping it will take them home. Nolan traps the others and attempts to use smoke to suffocate them and steal their equipment. Royce uses an explosive to attract the predators to the hideout. Nolan is killed by Tracker, who releases the group. In the ensuing chase, Nikolai sacrifices himself to kill Tracker and save Edwin. Berserker intercepts the survivors, but Stans distracts it. Allowing the others to escape before he is killed, Hanso stays behind to duel Falconer with a katana. He kills it, but succumbs to his wounds. Now for the ending. As always, you know the procedure. You have 5 seconds to stop this video at once. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below. If you've seen this movie already, please continue once the 5 seconds are over with. Okay, you've been warned. Royce, Isabel, and Edwin continue until a trap injures Edwin. When Isabel refuses to abandon him, Royce leaves them both behind. They are caught by Berserker, who traps them in a pit. Royce saves the captive Predator in exchange for transport to Earth. The Predator activates the ship and sets a course for Earth. Royce runs to the ship, but Berserker arrives, eventually overpowering and decapitating the other Predator before he explodes the ship, seemingly killing Royce. Edwin paralyzes Isabel using neurotoxic poison from a plant, revealing he's a serial killer and intends to stay on the planet. Royce appears and uses the poison on Edwin before booby trapping him with grenades to use him as bait to injure Berserker. With Isabel's help, Royce defeats and decapitates Berserker. Seeing more parachutes in the distance and surmising that more predators will be arriving, the pair head into the jungle to find a way back to Earth. End of story. So, what did I think of Predators? Well, I've only seen this twice, but I've got to say, this film's pretty cool and what have you. A little underrated, though, but pretty cool, though. I mean, this did get a little bit better response than the previous film. Upon its release, the film went on to make $127 million worldwide on its $40 million budget. Please stand by. Sorry about that. Now, of course, this was really good. The reviews were mixed, unfortunately, but some of the scores were pretty good. Rotten Tomatoes has a score of 65, saying after a string of subpar sequels, this bloody action-packed reboot takes the Predator franchise back to its testosterone-filled roots. That's completely understandable, yes. Metacritic has a score of 51. Unfortunately, audiences polled by CinemaScore gave the film an average C+. A.O. Scott of the New York Times said Antal is a good enough action director that some of the combat is pretty exciting. Oh, yes, definitely. Now, the reviews were pretty mixed and what have you. Critics praised the action, but unfortunately, criticism was aimed at the thinly written characters, though. Michael Phillips, on the other hand, for the Chicago Tribune, wrote when the story relocates to the Fishburne character's grimy, claustrophobic domicile, the movie turns static. Filmmakers may have been going for an alien industrial grunge vibe, but the tension just isn't sufficient. Roger Ebert wrote in the Chicago Sun-Times saying that described other casts to capture the quiet suspense of the original Predator film. Now, Chris Nashawati of Entertainment Weekly complained that the film's characters were more like cardboard cliches lining up for the body count than real action heroes. Well, that's understandable, but I'd say that the cast is fine and what have you. I do think the story for this was pretty good. I did like the setting for this, being on a planet inhabited by the predators and what have you. Now, I gotta give them credit for that. Now, for the director, which is the Hungarian American director, screenwriter, and actor Nimrod Antal, who had recently done two other films before this, which those were the 2007 horror flick known as Vacancy and the action-packed film Armored. Which I have seen Vacancy before, but I've never seen Armored, though. But anyway, he does a good job with his direction of the film. John Debney does the score for the film, and I must say he does a superb job, a very superb job on this and what have you. Oh yes. Now Debney's done scores for lots of films and what have you. Just too many though. Now this isn't the first time he's worked with Mr. Rodriguez. He had also worked on doing the scores for some of the other films he worked on. Most notably, the Spy Kids series. Yes, I'm checking. See, well, except for the third film, he did work on the first two films. He also did some other, well, the music for other films. But to be honest, there's too many to mention, unfortunately. But I gotta give him credit for what he did for this film's score. Now, originally there had been speculation that Alan Silvestri would return, who of course composed and conducted the score for the original Predator. But it was announced that Dabney, who had recently worked on Spy Kids and also another Rodriguez film, and that was Sin City, would compose. And I must say, does very good. He actually recorded many custom sounds and instruments, including Tibetan long horns to create squeals and screams. He also manipulated metal scrapes and ethnic percussion to further highlight the advanced yet brutal and primitive quality of the predators and their world. What can I say? That was really something. For the cast, we have Adrien Brody playing Royce. Now, I'm going to say he's pretty good in what have you in his job in this film. Now, playing young Edwin is Topher Grace, who recently did Spider-Man 3, which before this, of course, that was another film Debney had done a score for. I gotta say, that was really something. Yeah, he's pretty good. Alice Braga played Isabel, who has been in some films, but it looks like there's some films I'm not too familiar with, to be honest. Oh well. Well, now, years later, she had recently done The Suicide Squad. She was Sol Soria. Thought you ought to know that. I will say she's good in her performance. Playing Stans is Walton Goggins, who, of course, you might know him from The Righteous Gemstones and Fallout and lots of others. Of course, I recently did a review for a film he recently did this just recently, and that was The Luckiest Man in America. I will say he does good. Oleg Taktarov played Nikolai. I say he was very good in his performance. Not too bad. Laurence Fishburne as Nolan. Yeah, I'm going to say he was pretty good. According to Fishburne, he said it's a really interesting role, quite different from his Matrix character Morpheus, a bit shady, crazy, surviving on his own, kind of a ratty character. Well, that's understandable. Danny Trejo played Cuchillo. Mahershala Ali played Mombasa, and Louis Ozawa Chengchen played Hanzo. It was pretty good and what have you. Now, the four predators in the film were portrayed by Brian Steele, Kerry Jones, and Derek Mears, who recently played Jason in the Friday the 13th reboot a year prior. Now, of course, the Predators are identified in the film's credits as the Classic Predator, Tracker Predator, Falconer Predator, Berserker Predator. Now, Mears actually plays the Classic Predator, designed to resemble the creature from the original film. Now, I've got to say, he does a great job. Steele plays the Berserker and Falconer Predators, which are two of the larger predators hunting the humans. The Berserker predator is identified by a xenomorph mandible attached to its helmet and faces off against Royce in the film's climax, while the Falconer predator controls a flying reconnaissance drone and is killed by Hanzo. Jones plays the Tracker predator, identified by a pair of tusks attached to its helmet, which controls the quadrupedal hunting animals and is killed by Nikolai. Jones also doubled for Steele in some scenes as the Berserker and Falconer Predators. So, anyway, you gotta admit the cast is pretty good and what have you. I mean, despite all these, the critics said that they were well, the cast is good, but well, I really say I kind of factually disagree on with their characters being thinly written. Why? Yeah, some could have been seen a little bit longer, but overall, Predators was not too bad. But we wouldn't get another type of Predator until 8 years later with the Predator, which I will be reviewing that later on down the road. Details to follow. So with everything said, the cast is fine. Why the characters are fine as well, but I did like the action sequences, the atmosphere of the Predator planet, and what have you. The score from John Dabney, good. So would I recommend Predators? Answer: sure, go ahead. I think you'll really like it. I think you'll enjoy it. So, what did you think of Predators? Let me know in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel. Getting to know me, maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation. Share my vids with your friends if you'd like as well. I bring that up again. Because I am kind of over halfway through 900 through the 900 part of subscribers. I'm just a little bit of a ways to 1,000. So I hope for the best I can still make it. Anyway, join me next time when I bring to you a review of Live Free or Die Hard. So, if you like this, check out my reviews of these films in the Alien franchise. The upper left hand corner is my review of the classic Alien from 1979. The upper right hand corner is my review of Aliens from 1986. Or go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review of the recent installment of that franchise, in Alien Romulus from last year in 2024. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.